Alright, this is Lab 7 in 353. This is the second question in your list. And so we have the details of opening inventory of 4,000 at $7, purchase a single purchase of 10,000 units at $5.60, a sale at $16, and a purchase at $6.60. And we are calculating the cost of goods sold, ending inventory, and gross profit for two different inventory systems. So Fifo is the same whether it's perpetual or periodic. Moving average inventory system means that at every time we have a sale, we calculate the average for that sale. So we'll have to do that in this case. Essentially, moving average is the reference to a perpetual system, and weighted average is the reference to a periodic system. So let's start with Fifo. Our cost of goods sold is going to be the oldest stuff. So it would be the opening inventory plus purchases. We only have 1,000 units of sales though, so that 1,000 units was worth $7 because it's out of the first opening inventory amount. Alright, so the ending inventory would be, well, let's calculate how many units. It's 4,000 plus 10,000 minus 1,000, whoops, 1,000, and then plus another 7,000. So it's 20,000 units. Let's drag this down here so we have it available. So all we need to do now is price them. So the 7,000, whoops, quite sure what happened there. Let's go to the end. The 7,000 are priced at $6.60, and the 1,000 of sales, of course, doesn't enter into ending inventory, so we can take that out. And so the next 10 here, 7 plus 10 plus 3,000 out of beginning inventory. Represents all of the units that we have in ending inventory. So remember, under Fifo, ending inventory are the last, the most recently purchased, and the cost of goods sold is the oldest purchases. So we've got $1,000 or 1,000 units of sales, and we've got 20,000 in ending inventory. We start counting the inventory from the oldest, for ending inventory, we start counting from the newest purchases back towards the beginning. So here we have the full 7,000 at $6.60. We have the full 10,000 at a price of $5.60, and the 3,000 of the opening inventory. Of course, 1,000 of the opening 4,000 has been sold, so we put that in as 7. And so our gross profit number is going to be the sales of 1,000 units at 16 minus the 7,000 of cost of goods sold, for a gross profit of 9,000. Alright, so now the deal with the moving average system is that every time you make a sale, you have to calculate the average at that time, and then you apply that to the cost of goods sold, and then you apply that to the remaining inventory as well, and that becomes the new cost of the remaining inventory. And then when we add this, the additional purchase, purchase number 4 above, we have to average that in. So the idea to calculate the weighted average, we need dollars on the top and units on the bottom. So at the time that we made the sale, we had 4,000 units at $7. Plus we had 10,000 units at 5.6. So that's the dollars, and then of course we just divide by the 4,000. If you want, put them in brackets and add them up. That works quite nicely. So the average cost is 6. Not sure if that's exactly 6 or it's just rounding. But anyway, that's the calculation of the cost per unit. And of course we've got to calculate, we have to use that rate to calculate both cost of goods sold and ending inventory. So I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to actually drag it into the next cell here. So the cost per unit of inventory at the time of the sale was approximately 6. Actually, I'm curious. So let's multiply by 100 just to, 1,000. By 100, yeah, it's exactly 6, so we're good. So let's take out the 100 now. Okay, so the price is exactly an average of 6 per unit, and we need to apply that for cost of goods sold. We apply that to the number of units sold, which is 1,000. So go to the end or the beginning and multiply by 1,000 units, 1,000 units. That gives you your cost of goods sold. Now, let's move along here. The $6 per unit is attached to the remaining inventory at the time of the sale. So we had 14,000 and we sold 1,000, so that means we've got 13,000. So 13,000 is the number of units that have that price. And then of course we added, 7,000 times 6.6. We need another bracket. We probably need another bracket at the front. So let's stick another bracket at the front. Okay. And the bedmaster rule should make it right, because we've got a bracket times 13,000 plus 7,000 times 6.6. So the math should be correct. Now we need to divide that by the total number of units, which is 13,000 at the weighted average price that we've calculated, and or at the average cost price that we calculated, and then 7,000 at 6.6, so 13,000 plus 7,000. That was the 20,000 that we calculated, and so that's the average cost per unit in ending inventory, and we need to multiply that by 20,000, which is our total number of units that we have outstanding. So you see that it's slightly more than the FIFO number, and then finally we calculate our gross profit as 1,000 units sold at a price of 16 minus the 6,000 that we have over in the cost of goods sold, part of the table for moving average. So we should check quickly, because the cost of goods sold plus the ending inventory has to be equal to the cost of goods available for sale in both cases, since we're starting with the same opening inventory. So 7 plus 123,200 is 130,200. 6,000 plus 124,200 is also 130,200. So a quick check says that we did indeed have the total the same. So let's see what Lyrics thought of that. Lyrics agrees. We're done.